Hey guys, today I want to talk about first aid kits. Make sure you know what is in your first aid kit. Also, if you have items in there that you need to change out, and make sure that everything's still good and everything's useful in there. If you buy a cheap first aid kit, then most of it is going to be band-aids. Small itty bitty band-aids to your regular size band-aids. For the most part, those are useless unless you're a toddler. If you're a grown-up, this is your band-aid. Duct tape, cloth tape, something strong like that. And my favorite is paper tape. Paper tape is excellent as a first layer tape right on the wound to close the wound. But anyways, let's back up. Big gauzes over here, round gauzes or roll gauzes are great, especially with horses. You have all your little antibiotics and sting and burn. That's fine. I hate alcohol wipes, but whatever. And these are scissors. Make sure they're sharp. Some safety thingies and Q-tips, rolls, and bandages. Okay, those are all good. Basically, limit the amount of actual band-aids you have. Now, I still have band-aids in mine. Well, that's because I do have a toddler. And actually, I need to throw some pretty band-aids in there because according to her, the prettier the band-aids are, the more powerful they are at healing wounds. So, all sorts of dressing stuff. Make sure you have something for tourniquets. In a pinch, any kind of rope or baling twine or belt, that all works as well, but this works really well as a tourniquet. And then, of course, your vet wraps. This is a human size, and then the horse size. Vet wraps are great, but keep in mind that they do shrink and constrict after they get wet. CPR. This is CPR. You can get them like this, come in these little tiny pouches, individually wrapped, and you can attach them all over wherever you need them. It's great if you don't want to share cooties with the person you're trying to save. And then you got some gloves to keep your hands, clean, and paper tape. Paper tape is excellent against a wound, closing wounds and stuff. I would do paper tape to close a wound after letting it bleed. Let the wound bleed. That's your body's way of cleaning it out. Let the wound bleed if it's a controlled bleed. I'm not saying if you cut an artery, go ahead and bleed out. I'm not saying that. Don't twist my words. I'm saying, your body bleeds for a reason and needs to clean it out. Let it clean it out. Especially if you're out in the field and you're not going to be going to a hospital right at the minute, then let it bleed, let it clean out, then close it with paper tape, then go ahead and put some stuff on it because it's going to ooze some more, and then close it with some other tape if you want, wrap it with this, and here's your outer covering to keep everything all nice and clean in there and all that. So paper tape is amazing and awesome, perfect, and I do get rolls instead of pre-cut strips because who knows what I'm going to encounter out there. This is really cheap rainwear. It's basically just plastic, but it's already shaped in a form that you can wear. Really great if you're going into shock and you're losing body heat, you need to conserve body heat, or you just got dumped into a freezing cold river because your horse spooked on the bridge or whatever, you need to keep warm. So these type blankets and things to control shock, that's important. And then say you need an ice pack. All right, we got an ice pack, we got some soap, we got more paper tape and stuff like that in here. So that's all good. The other things that you would definitely want to have is something for pain control. Most pains you can just kind of ignore. I do, and it's kind of like whatever, but a lot of pain can become a total detriment to your health. A lot of pain causes stress, causes your immune system to not function as well, and all that stuff. So pain control, have some pain relief. Plus, it's also nice to have if you have a headache. And Imodium, diarrhea. Diarrhea can lead to dehydration, which can lead to more serious issues. Imodium, some Imodium AD or whatever, help stop and control the diarrhea right away. That can be really helpful. Can also save you if you're about to go into an endurance race and you don't want to be squirting all over the trails. So pain relief, diarrhea, those are the some meds you should have with you. And let's see, different kind of ways to close up a wound. It may not be the best to close up a wound in the field, so you got to keep that in mind. So my preferred way of closing a wound, if I have to, would be the paper tape, duct tape, gauze, something like that. Now I know how to suture and stuff. I don't think that suturing in the field in this day and time is really you know, but I guess that's a judgment call. So if you want to suture out in the field, go ahead. Learn how to suture by yourself, the needle and stuff. You know, you can totally do it. Another option is tissue adhesive. A lot of people use super glue. Super glue stings a lot, and it's not meant for tissue, but it definitely works in a pinch. I've definitely done it. It just hurts a lot. They do make tissue glue, surgical adhesive, tissue adhesive, stuff like that. That is made for tissues. I definitely recommend that. So that's always good to have. And they also have skin staples. So instead of suturing, you can just staple the wound shut. Very quick and easy. A disposable staple gun will have so many staples in it. Bam, 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 bam. It's stapled. It's done. It's held closed. It's secure. And you know, you're not fumbling. And you know, in a trauma situation, if you're not trained, you might be shaking as you're doing the needle, and then the person is like, you know, ah. So needle and thread, I'm not sure. Yeah. But staples, definitely bam, bam, bam. It's stapled. It's done. Okay. So those are all different things. Just make sure that your kit isn't just one big bag of Band-Aids is what I'm saying. You know, make sure you know what's in it and how to use it, and that it's still valid, that, you know, rubber stuff isn't all dry and cracked and brittle and no good anymore. Meds that you have are not expired and you know, flaking on, falling apart and stuff like that. Make sure you have stuff for shock, for temperature control, bleeding, you know, controlling the bleeding, and cleaning and closing it up, and you're all sorts of situations. Make sure, you know, imagine situations and make sure you have what you need in there. And also, you know, if not in here, then for me, I have a tote full of stuff that can be used in an emergency situation, and that is all. That tote, the first aid kit is in that tote, but the first aid kit alone isn't what I'm relying on. That's what I'm saying. There are a lot of other things that should go into that tote, and that way we can grab that whole entire tote out if there's an emergency. So there you go. Hope that is helpful at all. Let me know if there's any questions. Otherwise, be safe. Bye, guys.